Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've been making the last LightCoin video, so here's another one. And the question for this video is, how strong is the LightCoin? So for those of you who don't know what the LightCoin is, let me just give you a brief introduction. So my name is Ken Trento. I've been a spiritual teacher, energy worker for 25 years now. I work with clients and I also train spiritual teachers. So I have a lot of experience in that field. And at some point I got the inspiration to create a tool that can help you connect to your own light. So what is that light? Light basically is consciousness. It's really the way to connect to the source of you, which some people call God. Some people may call it the source. They may call it the conscious, loving universe, that source where creation springs forth, and that is also the source of you. And the human experience is that we forget on some level where we come from. We feel separated, but we can draw from the source again through access to our chakras, our energy centers, and the LightCoin functions like an attractor and also like a lens, like a battery, if you will. A battery is the wrong word, more like a lens. So it condenses and focuses that light and allows you to reconnect to that truth, to that inner guidance, to that awareness that actually you belong here. You are loved, you are important, so you're not lost in a big confusing universe. No, on the contrary, that universe actually listens to you. So let's talk about light a little bit, because these times are very confusing. When I started my spiritual work, I was just very touched when my mentors at the time, seminar leaders and teachers, helped me through guided meditations and through trainings to strengthen and open up that connection to my chakras, and I just felt so great. So at the time I thought, okay, that's such a cool solution. You just work on meditating with your chakras, you clean up your life in a way, you heal past traumas one at a time, and more you will have this inner guiding light that actually can even give you advice, tell you what's right for you, what your life path should be all about. So I thought that's great. In a way, it's so simple, it requires work, but it's awesome. Now we live in times where it's gotten a little more confusing, because I'd say, as far as I know, there are in a way 3 different types of light. So the one that I'm interested in is the light of the source of creation, the light of God. That's the one I care about. I don't care about the others. But there's also something that I want to call fake light. So it feels like light, it feels warm, it feels beautiful, it is bright, but is actually not encouraging a connection to your own wisdom, your own knowing. It keeps you in a bubble. So in that bubble also encourages you to not grow through your most difficult times, because following the light does not mean life is easy. Following the light means you want to clear out past traumas, you want to trust more and more to make your life count in the way that it matters to you, and that is different for everybody else. So sometimes, very often actually, the path of following the true light is very difficult, it's very painful, but then again, following that light also leads to that conclusion where you move past that pain. And what I call fake light actually tells you, hey, here's a little trick. You don't need that pain, just bathe in this light, follow me, and you'll be fine, and life is much easier. And it may feel like that for a while, but I'm very sure that at some point you will realize you're stuck. You're not progressing. And for someone who has not a lot of experience, it's actually very difficult to distinguish between fake light and real light. So I want to use this very simple analogy. So fake light feels like you're sitting next to a stove with a burning fire, and that fire is not burning within you, it just warms you. So someone else provides that warmth, and you just bathe in that warmth, but it's not burning within you. Real light feels actually very often like you get hot on the inside, like it burns within you. You are that fire, and that's different. And to me, that's maybe more challenging, but I think that's the path that has a future. And then there's a third way, which is actually not entirely bad. It's actually sometimes very helpful. That's what I want to call borrowed light or gifted light. So you can help people if you are connected to your own light by spreading that light to someone else and by giving them a protective and helpful boost for a while. But this will not last. It's just like a bridge to help people find their footing again, find their foundation, find their truth, find their love. So in the end, it's always about you and you deciding to make that connection to love, to inner light every day. And this is what will make you more resilient, more capable, more knowledgeable, more wise. So borrowed light also comes from the real light, while fake light is really a way to discourage you from following the path to your own freedom and your truth. So how strong is the LightCoin? That depends on where you are standing. When you are having a difficult time, when your connection to your source is not very good at the time, and that happens to everybody, including me, then the LightCoin will feel very intense, very strong. So, and when you're really well connected, you use the LightCoin and it will be just nice. And that's exactly what it's intended to be. It's a tool. It's not something to prevent you from walking your path. It's also really, really meant to help you get back on track with your light and your path. So the LightCoin is always the same. It's just where you are standing that will change the sensation that you feel when you use that coin. And I just want to encourage you to use this coin to your benefit. You know, I'm, for example, so let me tell you first a different story about the strength of the coin. So the other day, a friend of mine asked me to look at a supplement, a supplement that comes from the biohacking community, and she was using it, and she felt really great when she used it, but she had a little bit of doubt, and she asked me to scan this for her and tell me what I think. So is this something that connects you to fake light or to real light? And so I touched it, because that's for me a good way to scan something. I just touched the bottle, and immediately I felt the effect going into my system. And at first, lo and behold, it felt really, really good. So it was like, oh my God, I'm relaxing, I'm getting warm. But when I scanned a little deeper, I saw that's exactly a step into this fake light. You have no responsibility anymore. You need that supplement to make you feel good. But at the same time, it clouds your own judgment, it clouds your own wisdom. So I told her that's what I perceive. And this supplement was actually so efficient in its way that it had affected my body already just from holding it for like 30 seconds. So I used my LightCoin to get me back out of that. And when I held the LightCoin onto my heart and onto my solar plexus to reconnect me to my own light, my entire body started to shake. That's how strong the conflict was between this fake light that felt so beautiful. Oh, my microphone keeps coming down here. So between this fake light that felt so nice at first and the real light, there was such a strong conflict that for, I'd say, and I just touched it for 30 seconds, but it felt like my whole body was shaking. Not violently, but there was a constant tremor, and it took 10 minutes with a LightCoin to get back out of it, so that I could feel calm. And the lesson in perceiving the difference between real and fake light was, or let's say real and fake wellness was this. So that was to me also very interesting. Fake wellness is something that's always a bit of an exciting affair. So it's like sitting next to a hot stove. Oh, look how warm that stove is, how warm that fire is all the time. But if you move away, that warmth goes away. So real connection, real wellness, in a way, is kind of boring, because if you feel well, you're just you. You're just there. It's not like, I have this intense sensation all the time. Being on track is very normal, very boring. And my friend also said, yeah, I mean, I also was looking for the adventure all the time, and it's kind of disappointing that if I'm doing well, I have no special sensation. So that's another hint, if there's a product that constantly gives you that special sensation, and without it you cannot function, then there's a problem. The LightCoin, when you've worked with it, it will also give you a special sensation, but at some point it should be done. So when you're reconnected, you hold the LightCoin there, it's just like, yeah, well, okay, I don't need it, so I put it aside. And that's sort of the difference between something that makes you dependent and something that is just helpful. It's like a tool. If you have a screwdriver and you have some screws that need tightening, so the screwdriver is very effective, but once all the screws are tight, you don't need it anymore. You can put it back in your toolbox, and that's the same idea. So how strong is the LightCoin? It is strong enough to reconnect you, and sometimes if that disconnection was very fundamental, like in my example, you have a very strong sensation, and sometimes it's just very soft and very subtle. So my recommendation is get a LightCoin for yourself, get one for your family. You can buy them wholesale for your clients. So I will link to my website where you can order them, and I hope you enjoy it and your friends and family enjoy it. Thanks for listening, and see you soon. Bye-bye.